Does a rebound relationship last? That's what we're going to be talking about in this video. But first, my name is Clay with modernlove.life, where we help you get the great loving relationship that you're looking for without having to play mind games, without having to play hard to get, and without having to pretend to be someone or something that you are not. Because you, of course, deserve to be loved for the unique, amazing, and wonderful person that you are. And if you agree with me, do me a favor by hitting that thumbs up button for this video and by subscribing to this channel if you're not already subscribed. When you do hit that subscribe button and that thumbs up button, you're sending a message to the YouTube algorithm that these are good videos that other people might want to watch, and it encourages them to show these videos to those other people. So in a way, it's actually kind of like paying it forward. You're helping someone else out who could be going through a rough spot in their relationship down the road. So please just take one moment of your time, hit that thumbs up button. It helps us out. And of course, we do have our free Facebook group called The Connected Couple. You can find information on that down in the description box below. You can find a link to it. Just, if you're on Facebook, sign up. I know a lot of people are taking Facebook breaks and all that these days, and I think there's definitely a lot of value to doing that. However, if you're not currently on a Facebook social media fast and you would like to connect with other people that watch these videos on Facebook, please check out The Connected Couple down below. Okay, so we're talking about rebound relationships again in this video. And we're talking about whether or not rebound relationships last. Now, we've talked many times before about what does it take for two people to get into a relationship with one another. All it takes is really two decisions. Person A decides that they want to be in a relationship with person B, and person B decides they want to be in a relationship with person A, and voila, you have a relationship. And so rebound relationships obviously have a very poor track record. I don't think you need me to tell you that. I don't think anyone is in doubt about that. So why is it that they don't usually work out? It's because really, when you look at rebound relationships, there's a certain thing that's at play called emotional availability. That is to say, when most people come out of a breakup, they're going to at least be temporarily emotionally available. It's no secret that breakups can affect people in a deep emotional way. Lots of hurt, lots of pain, lots of rejection, lots of loss, lots of grief, lots of regrets, all of these sorts of things. I know that people often don't recognize that dumpers, the person who initiates the breakup themselves, can feel a lot of pain and hurt and loss, but they do. I know that the dumpee, the person on the receiving end of the breakup, no surprise that hurts. But the dumper can actually also feel a lot of pain and hurt themselves as well too. And even if your ex broke up with you, and this was not your idea, the whole breakup, you find yourself suddenly single one day, know that your ex is also dealing with their own emotional journey of healing and dealing with the loss of your relationship, and that they very well may be emotionally unavailable. Okay, so when you have an emotionally unavailable person, whether that is a temporary form of emotional unavailability caused by the breakup or a longer term sort of emotional unavailability caused by other issues, like issues with your parents or something, you're going to find that you are probably going to only attract people to you who also happen to be emotionally unavailable. That's to say, if you're emotionally unavailable, the only other people that will put up with that are people who are also emotionally unavailable. People that are emotionally available will look at that and say, hey, why would I want to be in a relationship with someone who's emotionally unavailable? I'm going to go find someone who is emotionally available and be in a relationship with them. So basically, you end up in a rebound sort of situation with two emotionally unavailable people coming together and forming a relationship. Person A decides that they want to be in a relationship with person B. Person B decides they want to be in a relationship with person A. And so how does that start to deteriorate? How does that start to experience its issues and problems? Well, what has to happen for rebound relationships to have such a poor track record is that one of these two people has to suddenly decide that they don't want to be in a relationship any longer. That's why rebound relationships have a very poor track record. Now, why does someone change their mind and start to decide that they don't want to be in a relationship any longer? It's because typically, most of the time, one of those people starts to become emotionally available while the other person remains emotionally unavailable. And then the natural repulsion mechanism starts to kick in that causes them to no longer be interested in one another. The emotionally available person starts to say, hey, I'm no longer just interested in the idea of being in a relationship. I actually want to have a connection. I'm actually looking for a partner that has these certain qualities, or I have these certain values in life, or whatever. And so that's when things start to shift. That's when things like the psychological displacement no longer function. That's when things like the fantasy about being in a relationship, or the fantasy about being over your ex, start to no longer be enough to make the relationship work. And that's when a lot of the problems start to kick in. Now, again, like we've talked about before, most people are not really very emotionally equipped to handle emotional intensity, especially emotionally unavailable people, which is what causes the whole thing to come flying apart. And so that's why rebound relationships have a very, very, very poor track record. By the way, I know we're just kind of skimming the surface here with all this rebound stuff, but if you do want to learn more about rebound relationships, we do have a video series on rebound relationships. You can check it out right up there. We go into things like psychological displacement in more detail, emotional unavailability, all that stuff in more detail. Feel free to check it out. Basically, a rebound relationship will start to come apart when two emotionally unavailable people start to shift, and at least one of them starts to become emotionally available again. The other person might be more one of those long-term emotionally unavailable people who, just has family issues or trust issues or something like that. Or maybe they're also temporarily emotionally unavailable, but they're kind of opening up and healing at a different pace than the other person. Now, again, this doesn't mean that rebound relationships can't work, that they're destined to fail or anything. But as this sort of shift towards emotional availability starts to happen, it's going to place a great strain on the relationship. It's going to place a great emotional burden on the relationship. And again, most people are not equipped to handle that. And that's why they have a very poor track record of rebound relationships, that is. So, again, all that has to stay in place for the two people to actually continue to be in that relationship is for them to both choose to be in that relationship. So rebound relationships can work as long as both people are still choosing to be in that relationship. But it doesn't mean it's necessarily going to be some sort of great, stellar relationship. I mean, I think we all know people that are, in a relationship, but when you look at their dynamic, there's no passion there. There's no life there. There's no joy there. They're just kind of like putting up with one another. They're just kind of going through the motions together, right? And so, again, as long as that decision is in place, the relationship can stay together. But what happens when at least one of those people starts to become emotionally available, at least at a different rate than the other person, then that's where a lot of that decision starts to come into question. That's where a lot of that repulsion mechanism starts to kick in, and the emotionally available person and the emotionally unavailable person no longer feel that sense of attraction, and so they actually start to repel one another because, again, you attract what you are, and you attract people who have similar qualities and similar characteristics to you, including emotional availability. Okay, so keep that in mind. And as someone's character, as someone's emotional state starts to shift and change, the dynamics of attraction can start to shift and change as well too. So that is really why rebound relationships have a poor track record. Rebound relationships don't last very often because of all of these things we've talked about. But again, they can last if two people are just, very resolute in their decision to stay together. If you are interested in actually getting your ex back from a rebound relationship, as we've talked about in other videos in the past, all you have to do is focus on the quality of the connection between you and your ex. As that quality of the connection gets stronger and stronger, the interest that they have in that rebound relationship will start to wane, and they'll start to form more of an emotional availability with you and less of an emotional availability with the other person, which causes the whole dynamic to sort of, collapse like we've talked about. So again, I know it's really easy to look at your ex's rebound and say, oh, is it serious? Is it not? Let me microanalyze these things that they're posting on Facebook or Instagram or something. But again, that's not what you need to focus on. What you need to focus on is the quality of the connection between you and your ex, or the quality of the connection between you and your partner, and that is what is going to pull you together and create the kind of relationship that's going to make it. Okay, so once again, we do have that Facebook group. If you want to go check it out or join, it's right down below in the description box. Once again, my name is Clay with modernlove.life, and if you have enjoyed this video, if you found this video helpful, please do me a favor, help spread this video through the interwebs by hitting that thumbs up button and sending a message to the YouTube algorithm that they might want to help promote this video a little bit more. And if you do want to learn more about rebound relationships, we do have that video series right over here, or you might want to check out this video right over here. But thank you so much for watching. Please take care, and I'll talk to you in the next video.